Today I have a new attempt at most kills in the game, and I was in the debug mode. This is pretty much the admin mode that you have in the game, and you can zoom out and you can cheat and do whatever you want just to test out stuff, you know. And it was very interesting because I wanted to compare how many kills will you get after a minute doing different things. One was just, killing the enemies every 10 seconds, they just die and respawn. Another is having all the weapons in the game because I wanted to see what is like the maximum that you can get in the first minute. Then I wanted to see the difference between walking to the left and to the right, but this is not really conclusive, right? Because I have all the weapons in the game, and sure, maybe if you have your build finished, maybe it's better to walk to the left instead of walking to the right, but I also can't say if this is maybe a quirk of using too many weapons, so you always cover the entire screen so you kill more, but if you can't do that, then it's just better walking to the right. But what I want to attempt today is, instead of going for Arca, who is usually used, I will go for another hero, and, well, you'll see it in a second. Enjoy. Alright, so based on what we just saw, there is valid reason to assume that you might just be able to stand still and get the same amount or even more kills than walking. Now, don't take these numbers too seriously. While they are correct, as far as I could judge, the problem is that I was using every single weapon in the game, right? And that is not a realistic scenario. That is rather unrealistic. So, what would be more interesting is to figure out, in the normal progression that the game takes, which hero makes the most sense. Now, I was thinking pretty much of 4 heroes, I think. So the first one is Arca, obviously, that's the base hero, negative 15% on cooldown reduction, takes it down to 40% recharge time, insanely low compared to anyone else, insane. And that means you attack more often, so you wipe out the enemies more often. In theory, if every single strike could kill all the enemies, this is the best hero, right? That's the theory. So, the next one is Mortaccio. Mortaccio gains additional projectiles, and the main benefit is here, if it doesn't matter if you strike faster, if the strikes don't kill the enemies, right? Because they still stay over. So if he would be able to kill all of them with the additional projectiles, then that would mean, even with less attack speed, he still cleans more enemies, thus the game generates more, and he gets more kills. The next one is Pascalina. Now this one I'm the most curious about, because her projectiles increase 10% every 5 levels. This can be combined with moving to the side, right? So that would be a valid strategy to see if just the increase in projectile speed might help. Because the faster your projectiles fly, the faster you get the kills and the faster the game respawns them. Now, a little side note, I think Gennaro is also valid, but I think reaching level 20 with Mortaccio happens so fast that it might just not be worth it down the line to go for him. Now, one thing is a given, he has the knife, and the knife is an amazing weapon. It's an absolutely amazing weapon that should not be underestimated. It's the main weapon you want to go for in these runs, and starting off with the knife means you're more likely to max it out and have it upgraded as soon as 10 minutes hit, pretty much. The last character I was thinking of is Domario, right? So Domario just stands still because he has a very low movement speed. He has an increased duration, he has increased projectile speed. It's pretty much the same as Pascalina, right? She has plus 10%, he has plus 40%, she gains plus 30% over leveling up, so a total of plus 40%. And this one is really complicated to judge, right? Because starting off with more speed would just mean it's better. But that depends, is walking better or standing still better? The issue with him is, however, the Bible. The Bible is a very, very, very bad weapon to kill enemies. It's one of the worst weapons. It doesn't leave the screen, which some of the other weapons do, but it's restricted to the circle around you. So I don't think it will ever work on him. I'm sorry, I don't think it will ever work on him. Now, let's take a look at the other characters that we selected now, and which one makes the most sense. I mean, Porta, honestly, I tried it. Maybe with the new ring, this might be a valid thing, to max out the ring ASAP, right? And then just have the bonus area. With the current state of the game, no. This is not under beta right now, this is not with the update, so this is without upgrading the ring. So yeah, I would say Pascalina, Arca, Mortaccio. This time I'll go for Pascalina, I just want to see how she performs. And I will try to stand still once I have everything maxed out and just see how many kills I can make. So, let's go. Alright, this choice here will be very important. Ebony Wings, honestly solid. Like, I don't complain about that one. That is really solid. Now, Vandalier will be very important for us, I think. Okay, I forgot one thing. Sorry. Okay, I kind of forgot that I had my power-ups refunded because I played on the beta to try out stuff. And you have to refund at the end. Otherwise, the gold is just, it stays on the beta. It's not gone, it just stays there. But yeah, Pascalina is the one I want to try out. And this time, not dying by walking into the enemies because I don't have power-ups. Let's see how that one goes. I'm really curious to see how this performs. Now, these decisions are insanely important. Which one might be the best one? Honestly, with the additional projectile speed, I actually think the X maxing that one out will be the best one. It will not help us here right now, but I think in the future, like if we get this maxed out ASAP, that will be insane. And I think the Rune Tracer is good enough to take care of everyone. Fries... what? Knife. In my head, I was reading knife and fires at the same time. That stands below in the description. Now, knife is not bad. I don't think it's as good as people might think. But these options are so horrible. Let's just go for the magic wand. I actually think the magic wand might be better here. I think knife is very solid, but like when I did the killing the enemies instantly, okay, to be fair, later on it will be way harder to kill the enemies, but it didn't seem to have any real effect once you are maxed out. Okay, that's a reset. Alright, had to restart because I forgot to give the power-ups, or to buy the power-ups. Let's go with Pascalina. I actually want to see how she performs. I just had to restart another time because the game offered me 3 horrible choices, and I hope this time this doesn't happen. I didn't even consider that being, you know, an option of failure, but yeah, it is, obviously. Alright, so we have the... So, I read that this is pronounced pigeon. Pigeon. It's like pigeon in English, but it's slightly different, like pigeon. Or pigeon. Something like this. I read it on Reddit, and there someone explained how it's pronounced, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Because Stracciatella, I forgot what it even was, but that thing is also pronounced like that, like Stracciatella, right? It's like pigeon. Well, okay, Stracciatella is a German name of saying it. Well, I actually think it's Italian. Either way, who cares, right? Wasn't it some chocolate kind of thing? I'm really bad with names in general. Like, if it's not something I eat daily, or meet daily, or talk to daily, then I just forget the names. And funny enough, with foreign names, I usually don't have a lot of issues. Like, every single person at my work who has a foreign name, even just pronounced in English, like Simon, because in German it would be Simon, I don't have any problems. But once it's about the German names, the typical names, stuff like Manuel, which is manual in German, or... who else was there? I forgot all of their names, actually. Wait, that's hilarious. Wait. I'm thinking back to when I was a trainee and went to school, right? And, like, what their names was, but I can't remember one right now. Well, one of them was actually called Simon. Yes, now I remember that. Where is the... Christoph was one's name? What else was there? I mean, there were like 30 people. Come on, this can't be that hard. I gotta remember some at least. Huh, do I want to go for a tracked orb here? Nah, I don't think the center water is the deal here. Actually, yeah, I think it will be. Will it, though? Yeah, potential. It has potential, I think. Let's just try it out. Let's just see. Because we have projectile speed, this might be very, very interesting with her. Because they travel, and the more they travel, the longer they travel, the bigger they become, right? So that could be very interesting. We won't have Spellbinder, but let's take a look at that. But either way, so okay, we are back at remembering names. Okay, what names do we have? One was called Michelle. Yes. Yes. That one I remember, I think. Huh. Who was sitting next to me? Dominic? Dominic was sitting next to me? Okay, I'm doing better. It still is horrible because we're like 30 people, as I said, but it's some of them, you know. What are the other names? I think Alex was one. What else? Well, I already said Dominic. Kevin! Yes, Kevin was one. That was one. Okay, there we go. Okay. I think that's enough. I think I got enough names done. Jay. How could I forget Jay? The Asian. I don't know how I forgot him. He was such a nice guy. He was actually one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Always laughing, always smiling. That was really... I really liked that guy. I mean, Kevin was also really nice. He was actually quite a bit older than most others because he was doing something else in finance and then he changed to IT. Okay, let's actually not talk too much about this stuff. Maybe not the best thing in a video, you know. Oh, I should have maybe taken the spinach. For given, like, that I've seen how high the kill difference is, I wonder if I should just max out the weapons first or get these 6 items. Now, I think 6 items is better. I think 6 items is way better. Also, another thing that is very important that I think is way too underestimated. You have to walk in the middle of the map because otherwise it will not generate the monsters all across the map, right? Like if you're at the top here, it will not generate them at the lower half. Now these ones here that were generated before, but do you see that how half of them are missing on the new wave that came there? That was just because I was up here when it generated. So you kind of want to always stay in the middle. Ebony Wings, amazing. I wish there was a way to see a kill count, you know? And yes, the kill count is still elusive, like if one weapon does 99% of the damage and the other one just kills them, it's not correct, right? But, I mean, that doesn't really matter, right? It should be fine, regardless. Alright, let's get this. Now I'm waiting for the... Oh, this is like the worst one to get. This is really the worst one. Now I'm waiting with the empty tome, which is not really the best thing to do. In fact, it was just me being stupid. Because I was playing level runs, and there you wait for the empty tome at 6 minutes, because just a little amount of enemy spawns. But yeah, I think I was just stupid here. I think I should have went over and gotten the empty tome. And then just go for 6 items instead of, you know, the usual 7. Now let's actually see how this run goes. Either way, like, even no matter how this run ends, it's not conclusive. I need to do multiple runs with everyone that I determine that might be valid. Because otherwise it's really hard to... Like, if you have a bad run, it's really easy to say, oh yeah, this hero was horrible, but in reality it was just a bad run, and you didn't notice that for some reason. It's like the same in gold runs, right? I constantly try out different weapons. In fact, I'm right now at a point where the cross, the heaven sword that I'm using, is pretty much just an open spot. If I don't get the cross, I'll not pick it. In fact, it's one of the last weapons I pick up. And the run still continues, because I actually don't need the weapon. It has so little use to me. The main use is the freeze and the scythe. Pushing back the enemies and freezing them is all I need to walk through them. Okay, I kind of would like to have the duplicator now. That would be amazing. Ooh, X is also good, but is it good enough to pick it now? What's better, X or Hellfire? I think X is better. But if I pick X now... Well, yeah, it's actually good that no more weapons can appear. Yeah, I'll do that. I would love to have a comparison with someone who's running instead, you know, and see the difference in kills right now. That would be really interesting. Also, I shouldn't forget the test that I did was standing still and I'm moving around a lot. So maybe I should really just attempt to stay still. Not move around at all. The reason why I like moving around is because you can focus your attacks a bit better, a slight bit better with the Rune Tracer. But at the same time, it ruins the entire purpose, right, that I had. Of saying, hey, standing still is better than just moving. Well, I guess you don't level up this way, or not a lot. Speed, really good. I'm gonna grab all of the experience right now. Duplicator, amazing. Really good. That will buff up the lightning ring like crazy. And now I can just go on moving. Like, now I'll leave because the new wave is spawning. The new wave is horrible for kill counts. In fact, for anything. Did I just get a clover? Really? Okay. Most of these enemies actually survive. That's a bit sad. Now, I don't care about really upgrading the ebony wings and pigeon. It's a pea-cone. I don't care about what anyone says. It's a pea-cone. That's what I gotta call it. I'll keep calling it that way. That's my name. It's like, call me stupid if you want. I can't do it. But yeah, either way. Actually, now that I think about it, Attract Off could be really horrible because we pick up a lot of the experience that would just stay on the ground, right? Yeah, I was thinking of multiple things right now. I don't have a really good conclusion, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'll just stand still. This is the run where I will just stand still. Because for moving, you need the knives. It's actually needed because otherwise the enemies don't die that are in front of you. And you constantly take damage until you die, right? So that doesn't work. I wonder if not moving will really go beyond the 50k, or if the first wave was just very elusive. Like something weird was going on that doesn't apply for the entire game. And I mean, we'll see the result of this run, right? It's a bit complicated here. My stuff is not really killing the enemies. I need the empty tome badly. Duplicator, amazing. That will help with killing the enemies. So the main priority right now is upgrading the lightning ring, because that thing just nukes entire everything. So I kind of want to have the experience over there. Okay, Rune Tracer again. Rune Tracer or Axe? Base speed up. I'll go for the base speed. I think I'll keep upgrading the axe very, very soon. Like, not keep, but start upgrading the axe. Because I think having the scythe on high speed will be insane for the kill count. Now the question will be whether the Rune Tracer can actually keep up with the game or not. And I'm really curious to see that. Labrador, amazing. Ooh, can I actually get all the items that I need? I didn't even consider that one. Spinach? Labrador? Yeah, I have all of them, okay. Is there any item I'm missing? I'm actually not sure right now. Like, is there a good item I'm missing that you would always want to take, usually? Okay, I checked it. Honestly, I couldn't see a single one. So I could just pick up the empty tome, or instead I go for the spellbinder. And I think the spellbinder will just be like way too good for everything, right? It will buff up the Rune Tracer, it will buff up the Vandalier, it will buff up the Center Water once it's upgraded, and before it's upgraded as well. So yeah, I think I'll go for the spellbinder. I should have just picked that. This is why it's important to think about builds before you do something in these record runs. I had my fun and, giggle in the past where I would just do random things and just try out how the game works. But I should be a bit more serious about it now. Because I have an idea how it works now. Not that I'm good at it, right? But now is the time where I should optimize things. And write down builds and plan out what might be the best thing to do. That's how I did it with the gold runs as well. And I mean, they worked out. Okay, Brazier. That is really good. There's a lot of gold, not gold, experience. Let me get that. Yeah, Lightning Ring, amazing. X, really good. Lightning Ring again, amazing. Spinach or Candelabrador? I think I'll go for Candelabrador. And Candelabrador again. Now, the huge delay in empty tome pickup time that I have right now is really not good, right? Like, it's really horrible. Because empty tome pretty much halves the speed it takes to attack. It's not exactly half, but we are at 95%. And it will put it at 55%. Which is like 42% faster. Which sounds weird because it gives 40%, but we don't start at 100%, right? X, okay. I regretted so much not picking the Spellbinder. That was one of the worst things I could have done. Do I care about the Center Water right now? Or do I just want to have the Vandalier? The Vandalier is... The problem is Vandalier will take a long time. I think I'll go for the Vandalier. Okay, I'll just walk over here and pick this up. X, yes. Candelabrador, yes. There is a cross over there. I can use that later on. I'm not gonna use it now, I'm gonna use it when the entire screen is filled with hard enemies to kill. Maybe wave 29? Minute 20... No, maybe minute 28, actually. Because they are so small, so it should give a huge boost to the kill count, right? Like, 29, yes, they are harder to kill, but they are also so big that there's, like... 28 has, like, 4 enemies in a spot where 29 has 1. Alright, do I care about Candelabrador enough? Yeah, I do. Okay, I can't get an upgrade now. I'll leave the chest on the ground. It doesn't really have a benefit for me. I'm gonna be a bit sad if I get another chest and I could have just picked up this one. Wait, how many... I can only upgrade the axe, right? So, who cares? Let's just pick this up. The rest takes way too long before the next boss spawns at 12 minutes. Ugh, I shouldn't move. Stop moving, Dex. It's really hard not to move at all. Also, am I really in the middle? Yeah, it looks like I'm... Like, this is on point in the middle. So, right now we have 10k. Is that good or bad? I think it's really bad. But it's hard to judge. I mean, it's interesting. The kill count is going up fast, but I don't think it's as fast as if you were running around with the knife, right? I think the running is superior because all you need is a knife, and the knife will kill everyone as long as you just jiggle around. Like, if you walk into one direction, you just jiggle up and down with your knife, it will kill everyone that spawns. So I think once you're full build, you don't want to move anymore with the knife. I think that is the way to go. But as long as you only have the knife, just move around and kill them that way. Spin it. Spells. Oh, finally. There we go. And the eggs. And the ebony wings. And the center water. No, I'm gonna go for the ebony wings first. Center water. Yes. Ebony wings. Perfect. Okay, so I'll do some movement now, because I actually care about getting the levels as fast as possible, and this is a horrible wave, right? We don't get a lot of kills here. I mean, we get most of them by just walking by, so it doesn't really matter. There's the second table. I didn't do a count, I just hope we were on the... Oh, that didn't drop a chest. Great. Yeah, I just hope we were on the first table there. This is the third table. If I'm correct. And this is the fourth table. Okay, let's just go back, because there was a cross on the floor, right? I want to have that. Also, I'm gonna reduce the volume of the game, because it will get quite loud once Vandalier appears, and I will definitely forget that. And I'll turn off the damage numbers because it will get nuts later on. Like, the game can't handle it. It just slows down the entire game. Oh, come on. This is way too slow. Like, this is so slow. I could have definitely just ignored the Spellbinder. For sure. And had the empty tome right away. I think that would have been way better. Okay, now I have to be careful to not accidentally pick up the cross. I think it's over here. Might be wrong, and it's one tile further. No, it's not here. Okay. Wow. For real. 2 crosses. I mean, I'm not gonna say no. But I'll go over there and I pop the other cross. And then I'll come back. I'll do it now. Oh, look at this. There's the other cross. Look at this. Bam. And a chest right away. A P-cone. Amazing. So now I'll just run to the left side. Which in the testing got more kills. But as I said, it will not give us more kills here. P-cone. Okay. We just need a chest now. Well, empty tome. I'll just go for the empty tome now. The chest will take a while. The boss spawns in 15 minutes. We have a lot of time to level up until then. I think I'll stand... Okay. Where should I stand? Like here? Yeah, I think here might be good. Let me get that. I don't want to be too close, because I don't care about breaking stuff over there. In fact, freezing them would be the worst. I just want to break the cans that are around me right now. Okay, 20k. We pretty much make 10k in 5 minutes. That's not bad. If we could now make another... well, if we could make 20k in 5 minutes next, like always doubling it, that would be amazing. Ah, spinach. Empty tome. I need the ebony wings. The ebony wings is the most important thing right now. Sure. What's going on here? I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Because we will get there, like, now. Center water, center water, center water, center water, and Vandalier. As well as 2 other things. Center water, and Spellbinder. Okay, I'll pick up that stuff here, because I don't want anything to be covered up. Oh boy, you are scaring me. Stop that. Where's the good position? Where was that? Okay, there are the crosses, so I kind of want to go here, I think. That looks good. I hope this bed drops a chest, because I can upgrade again. Yeah, I don't think the 20k in 5 minutes will happen. Hey, but we got 4k. Actually, if we got 4k in 1 minute. But yeah, now it's like super duper slow, right? So it will not happen. For sure. Okay. I think I'll wait a bit and then I'll start moving to pick up all the experience before wave 17 starts spawning. I actually should make like a record sheet of which wave spawns when, because on the bad waves at the end I'll collect all the experience, and on the good waves I'll not do it, right? So I have it prepared for them. Well, that's horrible. We need a fire wand. Well, that's really horrible. Doesn't get better. I mean, our kill count is actually jumping up. It's not 4,000 per minute as I hoped for. I mean, that was obviously just a joke to 20k. But it was actually on pace. In the first minute, we got 4k kills. Times 5 for 5 minutes, that's 20k. But yeah, I think we are far behind what you would usually have. Ooh, there's a table at the bottom. Is that a problem? That I get stuck on there or so? The Vandelier's pretty much doing nothing, is he? That might have been an absolute waste to go for that. As well as the center water. Can I max out something? I can max out the center water. Kinda don't want to max out the center water, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, okay, let's just do it. There's a new boss chest either way. Right, so we will get the one for the fire wand. It was honestly bad for me that I didn't notice that there is a new boss either way, because we are leveling up not at all. That would have saved me a lot of time. Oh, I didn't want to run into that. Oh my god, we don't have a lot to upgrade anymore. But look at this, how fast the Bora is moving. I mean, the bad part is it's kind of moving to the middle, right? If I could somehow... Is it following me? Okay, give me a second. I have an idea. So if I can just move, that the enemies spawn in the Labora, right? Like always where it's a center, I just move over. And this should give us a huge kill amount, right? In our kill theory. I know this is not standing still anymore. I don't know. It feels so wasted otherwise if I don't do it. I honestly think the Labora is just a very bad choice. I mean, I'll just keep it as it is right now. But as you see, the enemies do not walk into the Labora. It's like, yeah, it doesn't even exist. Okay, Vandalier. Yeah, I think this is so much better. And it seems to have a huge range. Just look at the experience still on the ground by the Labora. You know what? I'll start moving around. Not far, not far. I only have 2 more level ups and I'm forced into a weapon. There it is. Okay, okay, okay. We got this. We got this. We are set. Oh, there's so much food. Let me get that. Okay, let's max out the fire wand. I think this is just a very bad spot to do this. I mean, soon I can't do it either way anymore. There are 2 crosses on the top there, by the way. Like, 2 on top of each other. If I can somehow pick out one, that will give us a huge amount of kills. Bonus. Let's get the experience there. I thought that would give us a level up. There we go. Well, that is wasted, but I'll take it. Thank you. It's really hard for me to convince me to just keep doing something if I think something else is better. It's really, really difficult, and you might notice that. Because I didn't want to move in this challenge, right? And yet I'm always moving, like the entire time. But it's just because I think it's really bad if I stay with the Labor on the ground. Like, look at the amount of kills it gets while I'm not there. Okay, so now I kind of don't want to get any more kills. So what I'll do is I'll position myself close to the... Did I just collect... Oh my god. Not kills. I don't want to get any more experience. Oh, I would love to test what our range is. Pickup range. You know what? I'll stop moving. I'll just stay here. If I level up, the enemies just become stronger and stronger and stronger either way, right? So it doesn't make a lot of sense to move in that sense. So I can justify just standing here. Yeah, but this will go nowhere. I'm gonna be honest, this will go nowhere. The kill count is way too low. I think, like, I saw someone talking about it and he had like 40,000 kills at 18 minutes. Can I still upgrade something? No. And we don't even have 40,000 yet. Not 14. Yeah, I think the way to go is running, for sure. The boss is just constantly getting pushed back into oblivion. I wonder what's the best wave to use the crosses on. I think it's 28, like I'm pretty sure. But it might also be a different one. Like even 24 might... Nah, I think 28, because 28 is also the hardest one. 29, as I said, the monsters are just too big. I don't think it works that well. Like 29, the main benefit for 29 would be if... Because I can kill the 29 wave on my own, right? The 28 wave, not the 29. So that would be the big benefit as to why I wouldn't want to move it. Heck, you could even make an argument as to why it's bad to have Brazier and Labora. Because the faster it moves in, the less damage it will deal to the people outside. I mean, our kills are rocketing up, but it's just too slow. It's like half the speed of what it should be. I still want to try her out again, but next time with a knife, and then I just have to replace our weapon, right? Probably the Labora, I would say. But that is a very tough call. That is actually a really, really tough call. Actually, no, I would replace the Hellfire. Yeah. I just want to see how far this can get. Can he get close to us through the Labora? Oh, he can. Ouch. Well, it was not that far. Did we pick up a cross? Something blue is flying towards me. Might also just be a pixel. No! Oh. There's also a freeze if I see that right. Oh, that's horrible. I mean, right now I'm just looking at the kill count. It's going up really fast still. Like, it's not bad. I'm really not sure if this is the way to go. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it's not the way to go. But I'm curious to see where it ends on. I think my personal record is 66,000. I'm not even sure if I uploaded that one because I was not satisfied. I messed up things and I got mad. But I might have still uploaded it. So what would be the benefit of projectile speed? It might help out knives. It definitely helps out knives. What else? The scythe? The Vandalier? Yeah, look at how fast the Vandalier is going. What the hell? This might actually be bad, that it's so fast that you can't properly aim it at the enemies. Hellfire? Definitely. Rune Tracer for sure. But you would usually not use the Rune Tracer, right? So it's like... heh. You know? If you have to raid a weapon that you're forced to use on this hero, but it would actually not be a good option on another hero, then that is a negative for this hero. Yeah, I'm gonna say it looks really close to the 50k. That's like the lower limit what you usually reach if you just go for a normal build. 48 to 52k. And while it looks like we'll go ahead like of the 50k a lot or something right now, don't worry, this will slow down a lot very soon. There are the Medusa heads. Do you see how tiny they are? Like, nuking them gives you so many kills. Now, the difficult part will be, I want to pick up only the cross there, the lower one. Okay, let's wait for wave 29. That's where most of the, 28, yeah. There we go. That's a ton of the heads, right? So this should... Oh, this looks so bad. I actually got only one. Perfect. Okay, perfect scenario now would be to just pick up the cross without the freeze. Did I do it? I only picked up the freeze. Oh, no, they died, okay. Yeah. Remember what I said about with it looks good for the 50k, but it's actually not? Yeah, this is... The freeze was horrible. The freeze pretty much undid everything that the cross did. In fact, I think it did it even worse. Like, not taking the cross there that also picked up the freeze might have given us more kills than this. Okay, so this is what you usually do. It's a bit difficult here because the Vandalier is so freaking fast. Yeah, the Vandalier is actually way too fast. Okay, I'm gonna call Pascalina not viable. I think there is a way to make her viable. I'm gonna be honest. I think there is a way. With the knives, using the knives right and using the additional projectile speed. But I don't think it's enough to get the kill record. By far not. By far not. I don't even think we'll hit 50k here. Okay, maybe if I go over here... No, I'm just dying. I lost track where the Vandalier is. It's really hard to see it. There it is. I just have to look at the shots, right? That's how I should see it. I'm looking for the circle always. Yeah, it's 4 seconds left. Like, I'm gonna say this. My very first kill record attempt, while I was just figuring out stuff, was 49,998. Which means it was better than this run. Like, when I had no experience at all, my very first run was better than this run here. So, yeah, this was not convincing. I think this is just way too far off. Like, if it was, let's say, 78,000, right? If that was the case, I might have said, hey, that could be worth figuring out, that could be worth trying out. But I think I'll just waste my time on this hero. Like, by a lot. Like, by a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Let me think about this entire thing. If you have some ideas or recommendations, or yeah, general just ideas, let me know. I'm curious to hear them. And I will go back to probably, let me check that out. I think I'll go back to either Arca or Mortaccio. Now, Mortaccio used to be the favorite in these record runs, and he got thrown away for Arca because Arca just attacks faster. And as long as you can kill the enemies, faster attacks are king, right? So pretty much for a majority of the game, he is way stronger than anyone else. And Mortaccio is only strong once he has all his additional projectiles, and once Arca can't one-shot the enemies anymore. Now, a big downside to Mortaccio is he has the bone, which is an amazing weapon. The only problem is it's kind of useless compared to other weapons because it bounces off the screen. You know, it's like Rune Tracer. It bounces off the screen, which limits its usability by quite a lot. So I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll try it again. And let's see if I can maybe break this 70k soon. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'm out.